This is Eye on Hong Kong with Key.
And this is Harminder, and we'll be discussing the top news for the week involving Hong Kong and China. And welcome to the 37th episode of Eye on Hong Kong.
Welcome. 恭喜發財.
恭喜發財. And you start the show. I'm busy right now.
Why? What are you doing?
I'm counting my money in my bank account.
Are you quite sure you're doing this online?
I'm doing it right now. You see, I want to see if I have enough money to buy shares in ATV.
Are you sure you want to invest? Is it a good investment?
If I like burning money as like heating, maybe.
I think one of the big news this week is that ATV and one of the directors and the CEO, he suggested that people should chip in for them and 10,000 per share
for a 10% stake in the company. Now, you know a company's doing really bad when they're asking the public to give them money.
Isn't it crowdfunding? I think people like the word crowdfunding.
They can call it crowdfunding all they want, okay? Yeah. But it's not crowdfunding. It's we need money to pay our staff now because our irresponsible shareholders won't pay them.
But his mainland owner, it seems that he's not very happy with the price that people offer to him. That's why he's dancing around like what he likes to do and not making a deal with the potential buyer.
Yeah, he wants more than he thinks it's worth. You know what I mean?
But the thing is that how much the ATV worth actually?
It's not worth jack. Its assets are. It's equipment. It's building. It's land. That stuff is valuable. But the actual programming, its library, it's crap.
But why don't they do something more innovative to make some money? I mean, they have big factory, big storage house in Tai Po. Why don't they just let this smuggler from China to store or open a mall?
That's not a bad idea. Why don't they just open
I'm such a genius. They should hire me.
That is a perfect free market solution.
I know.
Clear out one floor and make it a discount mall.
Yeah.
For any shopper that wants to come through.
Yeah, and it's not I think they will. It's
not that far from the MTR.
Yeah, they will make big money.
Big time. They'd be millionaires in a second. They could hire any equipment that they want.
But what happened in the Neighbor Tribunal? Is it Neighbor Tribunal? I know they're not Neighbor Tribunal now. It's a criminal charge.
Now it was criminal.
It was in the magistracy in Hong Kong. And the magistrate is quite outrageous about that because...
I would be too. Such a big company.
Yeah, and he said like there's no excuse that they don't pay.
Well, clearly they have no money. Clearly the shareholders don't give a rat's patoot at this point about the station. They finished their historical mission, quote unquote, of what, burying the station. I mean, you did a great job of that, right? But like Yondan Latu was here last week, he said they're tapped out. The staff. I feel bad for the staff.
I don't really feel that bad for them because the
English news department then.
Oh, okay.
who bust their butts doing a good job, but they're not being paid. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, there was a compromise apparently came out in the South China Morning Post. They reached a deal, but still, it can't be. We reached a deal this month for whatever salaries that they're missing, and then next month they weren't paid for February. You see. Anyways, we'll continue to watch AETV, I guess. Yeah. All right. So this week, Lingnan University surveyed about 1,000 people, and they found that less than half wish that the legislators, pandemics, pocket the political reform first. Slightly less than half.
I think they said it also shows that the support for pocketing it first is decreasing the first time after the Occupy. So
it was higher before, wasn't it?
It's higher. It's over 50 before, but now it's decreasing. And the pro-establishment legislators and loyalists came out attacking the pandemic, saying that because of them keep speaking bad about the proposal.
Speaking truth, they mean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And so that's why the first time is decreasing.
So it's decreased. Let's see what happens when are they going to vote? June-ish?
June.
So let's say, I think end of April is a good time to gauge the public once more to see where
Quite
they
a
are.
lot of new organizations these days established to fight for the genuine and universal suffrage. Sometimes I don't know why I have to say genuine, because their proposal is not universal suffrage anyway. Why don't we just call it...
It's Iranian-style democracy.
Exactly. So there are quite a lot of organizations like the Progressive Lawyer Group and the Medical Group and the financial staff professionals. They also organize going to the community to promote the genuine universal suffrage, tell people not to pocket it first.
Which should have been done a long time ago. It should have been done years ago.
And quite a lot of new political group, they are going to run for the election as well, and it seemed quite dynamic after the umbrella revolution.
These new groups that are trying to promote, including young people, they really need to study United Front, their tactics, and see how they gauge the community, because they do a very good job of it. Other than bribery, I think everything else they can use. I don't see anything wrong with the way they engage the public and stuff like that.
What do you think about these new young political groups? They're running for the election.
They will not win.
Why not?
They're too... People are mostly in this city above their 30s, 40s now.
Right.
They're less young people. They have their support. They have the young people's support. Thing is, they're not the majority, nor are they voting age. And the other thing is that a lot of these groups want to see some concrete work done before.
Right.
Unless you're a big-time, well-known political
Judge
star, right, or well-known celebrity, Denise Ho. Okay, she might have a chance, right? But a better chance than some unknown just saying, "Hey, I'm for democracy." They'll be like, "So, what have you done for the community?"
So, what would you advise to them after the election?
Run, make notes. You're going to lose. Run again. But between that time when they lose and they run again, they really have to engage the community. Then they have a big shot at winning.
I say the same thing to you because you actually ran for the election.
I did. So
in
I
2011.
know. Yes, district council.
Come on again.
I know exactly what went down and what to expect with unknowns that just are thrust in and say, I'm part of this group or that party or whatever. They don't care.
I think one time we bumped into Ken Zhang in Admiralty. You guys were talking about, oh no, we are not going to run again.
It's a snake pit for me. It's not something I'd like to do again. Sorry.
Okay.
Plus, I don't think the city's socially progressive enough to vote for a non-Chinese person in Lechco or district council maybe, but not Lechco.
With Paul Zimmerman.
He's on Hong Kong Island. That's the only chance anybody has that's not a Chinese person that can't speak English, Cantonese perfectly.
That's why we should push it.
In Hong Kong Island, it's already crowded enough. That is the most crowded area to run for legislative council. It is.
But I somehow still think that the Pan Am still have the fantasy that someone from the Southeast Asia, they will win anyway in Tsim Sha Tsui.
No.
Why not?
Factions.
In what sense?
They don't vote on what's for the Southeast Asian community, at least. They do not vote on what they've done. They vote on who do I know and how will this person benefit me later.
But that's quite natural.
It is natural, but that's how it is. Right? So you need somebody from that community that's well known. Thing is that can you trust them to be in your party? It's really awful. You want somebody that's genuine at heart, not doing it for the money, power, or respect. Yeah. That's hard to find.
I think you're a good candidate.
No,
anyway.
I'm not. I like what I'm doing here. All right. So the Democratic Party had placed an order for 7,600 toilet rolls. Now, you might think that there's a lot of verbal diarrhea happening in that party, but that's not why they ordered it. It had C.Y. Leung's face printed on the toilet paper. So as much as that might give me constipation, that looking at his face, the thing is that the mainland factory that they contracted out was banned from sending the goods, and actually that factory's been like seized almost by the mainland authorities. Now, a couple of questions arise. One, why are you giving a contract to a mainland factory? Two, what do you expect? Three, it's happened before.
Yes, it happened before.
Right. And four, what do you do next year?
I just think that they never learned the lesson. They still think that they will get away from it. And why don't you support the local factory?
Exactly. I mean, there's no local toilet paper factories anymore in the city, but you can contract it out to other countries that still produce it, like India, Vietnam,
Malaysia.
I'm not sure if they.
But it's probably about the cost as well.
Well, yeah, you have to pay a little more, but at least you advertise the fat, not made in China.
I mean, even closer to Taiwan is quite easy.
Taiwan, I'm not sure if they make it either. But definitely some Southeast Asian countries over there, they still have factories making it. Yeah, I'm sure you can contract it out. Somebody will have to make the trip to the factory there, yes.
But they never learned the lesson. Actually, it happened so constantly.
I think they need to move on from mainland factories and support local factories, or you can support, not support, but give your contract to South Asian factories so that you don't get banned from sending it, unless they're in the pocket. Like if you go to Myanmar, most likely you'll be banned because they're kind of in the pocket of China. All right, this week about 30 investors trading in Bitcoin. We're on a trading platform.
What is that, Bitcoin?
Our Bitcoin is a virtual currency. Right. It is limited by the amount of currency produced virtually, right? Which means it has a fixed amount, unlike fiat money, which is unlimited printed and the value goes down. The value should go up technically because there's less and less Bitcoin every time it's mined. There's this, I can't remember the exact number.
It's kind of artificial.
It is artificial. So is fiat money.
Then why people buying it?
Because it's a currency. It is a legit currency.
To buy
and sell whoever accepts Bitcoin. And these exchanges, you would give them your Bitcoin for storage, or they would reinvest, or you say, here's my one Bitcoin, now give me that in currency, like Hong Kong dollar or US dollar. That's what these exchanges are for. Thing is, this one went belly up, it looks like, or is a pyramid scheme. Now, Leung Yu Chung, am I butchering his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. The legislator. He's taking up the case of the investors and the clients, saying, 3,000 clients, 30 investors though went to the lawmaker, saying that, I invested in this and I was told I'd get high rates of exchange and I've been scammed. People have lost lots and lots of money. I mean, it peaked at $1,230 US per Bitcoin. It's down to like 220 right now. It became a bubble, and then it went down. The thing is that now they want either a ban on Bitcoin, which I find ridiculous. I thought we were free market. Two, these people obviously didn't do their homework before investing. They just heard high rate of return. You make big money. Okay, right? And now they want help because they made a bad decision. It
looks to me, I don't really know about investment. I don't know about Bitcoin. But when you talk about that, it seems to me it's about how they run it is the scheme that is illegal, but not the Bitcoin thing.
It had nothing to do with what Bitcoin is.
Exactly.
It's the person running the exchange.
So people always got warning from the government saying that this kind of scheme probably is a sham. Well,
Bitcoin is high risk, right? It's a high risk investment. I mean, if you're hoarding Bitcoin hoping it'll go up, it may not. It may crash down to a penny. Who knows? But that's the real free market, by the way. When government is not involved rigging the markets, and protecting the markets. This is what happens in the real economy. Things go up, things go down. It auto-corrects. If it's a bubble, the bubble will burst.
So right? Is it bursting now, the Bitcoin
The bubble's burst a long time ago, right? The problem with Bitcoin is that not enough people use it to be a real currency. Like you go online, very few places are accepting Bitcoin. A lot of people are hoarding it, hoping for the value to go up and then cash out later. That's the problem with Bitcoin. Not enough. People are just not spending their Bitcoins. They just hoard them.
I don't get it. I just like
money.
I'm playing World of Warcraft that they got some money for me
That's
when
that's like Zynga or something, isn't it?
yeah, like I successfully killed some monster and then I got some money.
But that's only to buy more apps within the game.
I can buy more
weapons or armory. No, Bitcoin is legit. I will buy your shirt for this much Bitcoin. Okay, here's
or
Bitcoin.
just like iTunes card. Back up by the money that I put in.
No, it's legit currency. Again, it's real currency.
I don't get it. How come it's a legitimate currency?
It's virtual. That's all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Read up
anyway.
on it. But I don't think that the Bitcoin should be banned or regulated just because investors don't know what they're doing.
I think they should regulate the way how they handle it. Like,
sure, the exchanges might need to be under some rules that you must have this amount of fixed capital before you can start Bitcoin exchange. You must have some money. You must have X amount of Bitcoins already, stuff like that. So, I don't think it should be banned though. Like some people are calling it. Like I hear demonization of Bitcoin all day long on the news. They're like, oh my God, they're using it to buy illegal stuff. Well, the number one currency still in the world for illegal goods is the US dollar. You're going to ban that? It's ridiculous.
Don't. You will ban Hong Kong dollars as well.
Yuan.
We peg to them.
We got Johannes Chan, the potential vice chancellor, but right now, what is he, ex-professor?
He was a former dean of law faculty at Hong Kong U. He's still a professor.
Oh, but he's still a professor. All right. So we all know that he was attacked by Wen Wei Po, Ta Kung Pao, saying that it's because of his political dabblings and being so pro-democracy that the standings of the university have gone down. Right? And the thing is that now we're hearing that some of C.Y. Leung's people may have gotten into the ear or were talking to people who were, in the position to nominate, to appoint, Johannes Chan, to say, no, you don't want to hire this guy. You don't want him in this position.
I think what they said to the press is quite skeptical in a way because they put it in the way that they say that lady said, oh, I don't really remember that I said something like that. But if I did, then probably I didn't know that the people during the dinner, they are the counselor from the Hong Kong U.
That's Sophia Cao.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Gou Jingji.
Yeah, Go. Yeah, sorry. Sophia Go, but her English name is spelled K-A-O.
Oh.
She's the political advisor for C.Y. Leung.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Dennis Kwok, legislator Dennis Kwok from the legal functional constituency, he confirmed that he had sources that said that they were contacted and said, do not vote for or appoint Johannes Chan.
Well, it seems like he's getting his hand inside.
What'd you say?
I think that C.Y. Leung actually really want to meddle with the Hong Kong U.
He is the chancellor of Hong Kong U.
It's a very colonial thing.
It's so stupid. Why is the chief executive or even the past governors, why were they the chancellors of all the universities?
I think Johannes Chan today also attack on that, saying that the chief executive given too much power that they.
Well, no, isn't he just a figurehead?
He is actually the figurehead. I think one of the funniest protests was that during the Umbrella Revolution, and some of the students keep having these protests saying that down the chancellor, and then they actually pro-establishment people actually say yes, down the chancellor, because the students not knowing that C.Y. Leung actually is the chancellor.
Shows you the intelligence, doesn't it? That's the problem, though, is that he should not be the chancellor. He should be a legitimate chancellor appointed within the university to be the chancellor.
Another piece of news that reported today is that someone from the Poly University told Ming Pao Daily that he was actually told that when Hong Kong U giving out the honor of doctorate, that CY Leung actually tried to eliminate some of some names from the list.
Interesting. So we're seeing nothing but political interference now within our tertiary education system. Well, and our secondary and our primary.
Yeah.
All that's left now is kindergarten.
I think that's the first thing that you have to control if you want. If I were the dictator, I would control the education first, and university, of course, is.
Well, what did Hitler say? He didn't go after the children first, but he said, first you get the women, then you get the children, so follow the men. You see?
See,
if it goes that way, that's why the United Front has like women's groups. It's not by accident,
right?
So we'll see what happens there. We were watching outside the debate that's still going on for the technology and what is it called, the Innovation and Technology Bureau.
Right. It's a new bureau that CY Leung wants to set up, and he wants to put his people in. And that's why quite a lot of legislators, especially Penjan, they are against the exact Charles Mark, previous guest, because he's from the
IT sector. They think it's going to be beneficial for them. But here's my question: what has the government done so far up until today?
Cyberport is a properties.
All right.
Estates. Investment now.
So they set aside a piece of land, saying, "Here, make your technology here."
And the science park in Tai Po, Sha Tin, where is it? I don't know.
More land, Sha Tin. More land given to innovate. Okay, since government controls the land, I'd expect that. If it wasn't controlled, then who cares what they say? But they control it, so they give them some land. Their job should be, as far as I'm concerned, promotion after this point, after giving the land. What do they expect to do with a innovation and technology bureau with a bunch of bureaucrats?
Infrastructure and speed up the internet.
Infrastructure for what?
Build up
IT infrastructure?
Yeah.
Private companies are doing that all by themselves. Thank you very much.
Planning how to make the city called smart city. I think they doing something like that.
Like smartphones? Are we really that smart? Infrastructure building, like the bridge to nowhere that we are making, or
they said they couldn't build it.
They're having trouble right now. Because they can't connect the tunnel. I mean, see. Do you know what happens when you get government involved? You up. You F up a lot, up. Yes. Yeah. You get a bridge to nowhere. You get a express rail link where you can't figure out how the immigration control is going to work.
And actually it's not that fast.
And it won't be that fast, to be honest. You get a cruise terminal that nobody's using.
Well, I want to talk about how the government lobby this bureau.
Go ahead.
Because Fanny Law is the one who's tried to push this bureau to the legislator. And Albert Chan of People Power.
I want to hire her as my lobbyist.
Albert Chan of People Power released this WhatsApp message between her. The reason why Albert Chan released that because Fanny Law mentioned that in a radio show, and that's why Albert Chan said that the content is not the way that she puts. She actually started it quite nice, saying that for Hong Kong we should have this technology bureau, and we want Hong Kong to have a better competitiveness, and or not we will lose the chance of blah 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 blah, and then and say that without this bureau Hong Kong will fall, and then Albert Chan will reply her saying that Hong Kong will fall only because of you, and then Fanny Law immediately reacted quite completely. Aggressively. Completely.
True Colors came out.
The True Colors came out, and then she said that the one who shaved their head, then he will be shaved, and the God will punish them, and it's something.
So an eye for an eye.
Yeah, an eye for an eye, something like that, and it seems that people, when they don't agree with you, you can be suddenly turn so ugly.
But the analogy doesn't work for Albert Chan because he's already bald.
Oh, right. That's so true. He's bald.
Yeah.
So he's like, who's shaved my head? I'll shave him back.
Unless she wants to shave something else. I mean,
Get it very kinky now. We're not going to talk about 50 Shades of Grey here.
can't we? All right.
Best lobbyist, Fanny Law, you are.
Maybe she should be in the next book. We got her saying that nobody will speak to her. Nobody will speak to Fanny Law or anybody else from the Sea Island government. That's how broken the relationship now is between the executive and the legislature.
But one other thing I have to recognize is that she's very hardworking because she keeps using WhatsApp to send messages. And very secure.
Very.
Especially trying to push forward the technology bureau.
Yeah,
and
smart move.
WhatsApp.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job. Even though she could use more secure forms of communication, considering that, I don't know, you're dealing with, I guess if I was on the main line, I'd say state secrets, right? But I guess it's confidential information.
Right.
Oh, God. I mean,
Anyway.
see, this is the problem with the disconnect between reality and government. Reality says we don't need you. Government says you can't live without us. And that's not true.
True.
I mean, the government is a necessary evil. There's no such thing as good government. Is a necessary evil, but we have no choice. Anyways, let's see what happens because the debate's still going on.
Right.
All right. I'm going to use this final minute just to remind people that you can still download our show as an audio podcast for your phone. Just go to iTunes and search Ion Hong Kong. If you don't have an Apple phone, you can go to ionhk.podbean, like jelly bean, or beans, the musical fruit, .com. ionhk.podbean.com. You can just go to the RSS feed. Don't make fun of me. RSS feed and just download the RSS feed and put it into your podcasting software, and you can get our show that way. I know some people don't want to watch the video. You can still get the audio. We'll be back in the second half.